It just says your live stream is offline.
Oh.
How do you feel, Victoria?
I'm good.
Good, good.
Do I look nervous?
No, you look good.
Get ready. 2, 3, 1.
Welcome back, and thank you guys for joining us. If you just joined our channel or the platform itself, we have a great presenter up next for you, and they're going to talk about small business health check. Without further ado, let me introduce Miss Victoria A. Hughes. Brings a wealth of firsthand expertise to her role as director of the Florida Women's Business Center. As an award-winning proprietor of a woman-owned business, Ms. Hughes draws from her own rich heritage as she counsels other women looking to start or grow their own businesses. Her background is shaped by broad hands-on experience in corporate, small business development, management, and technical assistance. Prior to joining the Florida Women's Business Center, Victoria was the business incubator manager of the Center for Technology, Enterprise, and Development, the TED Center. She developed a strong relationship with the small business community, economic development organizations, and community resource partners, and spearheaded business development, curriculum development, training, and operations. Without further ado, Victoria Hughes.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hopefully everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, great. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. There we go.
Looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you. So I'm really excited to talk about the small business checkup, the health of small businesses, because we know over the last year, it's just been one thing after another in terms of the pandemic, our economy. When we think about it, there's family and friends that we've really all been worried about. And for those of you who are operating small businesses, who have thought about operating small businesses, it's been challenging, certainly a learning experience. So just like we go to the doctor to get a checkup, you're not going to the doctor, but you're certainly going to really take a step back and look at your business. Where are you? What are you doing? And for those of you who haven't started businesses, it's an important time for you to understand that this is a new business challenge for everyone. So it's a new business climate. It's an opportunity to look at what's needed and do some analysis. So I thought today, when we're talking about small business health check, what does that mean? Well, as I was doing some research, I noticed in the South Florida Business Journal, in the last couple of days, actually, they did a survey. And there was a statement that they printed that said 35% of small businesses might not survive the summer. And that's for a variety of reasons. But we know that all of you who understand that it's important to get connected, stay connected, and get information, now is the time for you to look at your business, determine what are the things you need to do to be successful. So when we travel down this health check for small businesses today, please feel free to ask any questions. You can put it in the chat. I'm sure Tara will be able to help in terms of identifying what some of those questions are. If you need to contact me, my contact information will be on the last page of the slide. But also, our center covers Palm Beach County and Broward County. And we've been in service here for more than 15 years under the umbrella of the Center for Technology, Enterprise, and Development, known as the TED Center. So today, let's talk about that checkup. We want to go to basics first, right? Let's review the basics of a small business. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, there's some basics. So if you haven't started a business, this information will certainly help you. If you've already started your business, there's probably some things on this page that you haven't thought about. So let's just take a step back and review some basics in terms of that health check in today's marketplace. So everyone knows that your business needs to be registered in SunBiz to be a viable business, right? There are independent contractors, there are sole proprietors. You want to make sure that your business is identified. And one of the things that has come up consistently over the last year when we're talking about relief efforts and whether or not a small business would be able to apply for grants is what type of business is it? Is it a sole proprietor? Is it an independent contractor? Do you have a federal tax ID? Or are you using your social security number? So I'm going to tell you right now that no one should be using their social security number today. Obviously, you don't want to give it out, and you certainly don't want to use it for your business. So what you want to do is get a federal tax ID. So if you're registered in SunBiz and you don't have a federal tax ID, then you need to get one. You get them from the IRS. And if you are a sole proprietor and you don't have a EIN number, you can get one as well. So it's not restricted to LLCs or S Corps. So make sure you do get an EIN number, which is a federal tax ID. Now, another lesson learned over the last year is that every business needs a business tax receipt. For those of you who don't have one, then you need to get one. So some of you may think, oh, well, I ran my business last year, but I didn't have a tax receipt, so I'll just register and get one this year. Well, you can wait, but I can tell you right now, you're going to pay double. So whenever your business was registered, if it was registered last year or the previous year, and you go to get that business tax receipt, you're going to have to pay for those back years that you should have had a business tax receipt that you did not. And in most counties, you need a business tax receipt as well as the city in which your business is registered. So please make sure that you have a business tax receipt. In most cases, you can call the planning and zoning of the city, and you can find out how much it's going to cost you for a business tax receipt. And you may say, oh, gee, this is going to cost me money. Yes, it is. In the short term, it costs you money. Without a business tax receipt, you were not able to apply for any of the grant monies that were available by city and county during COVID relief. So what I'm going to tell you is review the basics. If you don't have a business tax receipt, get one so that you don't get locked out of opportunities. Review your business and products and services. Are they relevant in today's marketplace? What you sold last year, you might not be able to sell this year because you have to think about who has money today to pay you. We know that the federal government does. There is no question about that. Our federal government, the United States federal government, is the largest purchaser of goods in the world. So do they have money? Absolutely. Can you get some? Maybe, but you have to get your information in order. You have to be registered, and we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. The other thing you want to start thinking about in terms of your products and services, how and when are you going to get paid? If you perform services or sell products today, when are you going to get paid for those products and services? And how do you make sure that you are getting paid? So you want to review the basics of how you are setting up agreements, how you are doing business, how you are getting paid. And those are operational issues to some degree, but they're extremely important when you think about the health checkup of your business. Because if you don't have money coming in, you can't pay yourself or your bills. The next thing you want to look at is your website and your social media. Is it current? Are they current? Are they reflecting what you do? Over the last year or so, many of you have had to kind of backpedal a little bit, slow down, reduce, and take your product lines and maybe cut them in half because it costs you money. So now when you look at your website, you look at your social media, what are you selling? How are you selling? Many of you don't have websites because they cost money and you have to maintain them. And we all know that social media is free, right? Not really, because it does cost time and effort to make sure that your social media reflects your business and you. Now, I will let you know that there's a free webpage via Google. So if you want to know, if you want to post or register your business with Google, you want to, and you don't have a website, then you can set up a free page with Google. They call it a website. And actually, if you want to attend one of the upcoming Google workshops that the Florida Women's Business Center is hosting via Zoom, please feel free to go to our website and register for that workshop. It will be of a great source of information for you, and it will help you in the short term. It does not replace a full-blown website, so please don't even think that it does. So as we continue on the journey of our health checkup of your business, I want you to review the basics in your business, and then let's talk about some other things that are happening or should be happening in your business. I just want to provide a note that more than 8,000 businesses have closed in Florida since the pandemic started and won't reopen. Now, many of you know that the number is much higher than that. We don't have an actual number yet, but we know that businesses are closing. We know that you're not going to be one of those businesses because you're going to connect and have connected with your customers. So what does that mean? Call and say hello. Do you always have to sell something to someone in order to call and see how they're doing? Absolutely not, because that's how you develop relationships. And we know a health checkup means that you need customers. If you don't have any customers, you don't get paid, you don't make any money, you have no revenue in your business, and eventually you will become one of those statistics that we just talked about. We don't want you to become a statistic. Reach out and touch, reach out and call, reach out and say, I'm thinking about you. And do it in a different way than everyone else who's out there doing it. But make sure that your customers know that you care, because that's who they're going to buy from. Are you checking in with your suppliers? We all know that during the pandemic, there were products sitting on boats, products sitting in manufacturing facilities offshore that could not get here. And so the suppliers were unable to supply you with the goods and services that you needed in order to sell product. Even today, many of you are looking to have your cars repaired, and you know that repair parts are not here. They may be on their way, but they're not here now. So check and find out the status of your suppliers. That's another call that you can make and make that connection. Now, let's talk about funding. When we talk about a health checkup, you need to know, do you have funds to operate? We know that everybody likes to, operate a business on a shoestring, but you can't grow a business on a shoestring. So right now, it's important for you to take that checkup and find out, how much money do you really need to operate your business? Are there funds out there? Of course, there was PPP, there's EIDL, all of those programs through the federal government. But realistically, not everyone can take advantage of that. So if you can't, what is your next step? You have to think about getting a loan. I know that's a bad word with small business owners. When I say loans, everyone looks at me like I have two heads. Not everybody can get a grant. Grants are not out there for everyone, but there is some funding available for small businesses. And for those of you who are startups, thinking I'm starting this business, how am I going to get any money? Well, you may have to think about implementing that business in phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, depending on what your funding looks like. So there are funds, there are CDIFs out there, community development organizations, which I'm sure you'll hear about at a later time. We have a product called Kiva. We are a Kiva hub. You can get up to $15,000, excuse me, over a 3-year period of time at 0% interest. And yes, it is a loan. You do have to pay it back, but there's no interest associated with it. Excuse me 1 second. So I was just talking about the health check of your business. I was talking about funding, and I mentioned PPP. For those of you who don't know what PPP is, it's Payroll Protection Program. These are funds that the federal government provided to small businesses to cover payroll for 2.5 months, but you've had to qualify for it. So when we think about the operation of your business in terms of the health check, take a step back and think, did I get PPP? If I did, that's great. But if I did not, why not? Why didn't I receive PPP in my business? And that's one of the things that in terms of moving forward with your business, you need to understand that documentation is key. It also means that you need to think about the operational aspect of your business. The operational aspect of your business is that you pay yourself. And you have records that show that you've paid yourself, that you've paid your employees, and you do it consistently. Now, many of you have told me, well, the reason why I don't pay myself is because I have to use that money to pay other bills. Well, you need to pay yourself and then use your money to pay your bills, not the bills from your business, but certainly you need to identify the fact that you've paid yourself. And that becomes extremely important. So on a go forward basis, make sure that you are writing yourself a check and you are documenting and keeping track of that, because it becomes extremely important in terms of getting help and funding for your business. Do you have a separate business account? Are you just mushing everything together? What you want to do is separate. If you haven't separated your business account from your personal account, now is the time. I want you to treat this like it's the new year. It's just the beginning of the new year. So new year, new account. Separate your business account from your personal account. And if you haven't established a relationship, a business relationship with a financial institution, you need to do that. Many of you know that if you wanted to complete an application for a PPP loan, many banks said, oh, you're not one of my customers, so therefore I'm not going to accept your application. Or you did not have a relationship with someone at your financial institution to help you understand that they were only going to be processing applications for small businesses, small customers for maybe 15 or 20 days. So if that's the case, then how do you find that out? How do you stay in touch with what's going on? The way you do that is by developing a relationship. Everyone needs to have a relationship with their financial institution that they're doing business with, because they can help you. And the third thing I want to talk about in terms of operations, do you have a documented plan on moving forward? How are you going to move forward? You need a roadmap for success, and you need to be able to track to that roadmap. So we all know that the world is changing. It has changed, and it will continue to change. Your roadmap will change and accommodate what is best for your business if you identify it. So you want to create a plan. I know all of you, when I say business plans, many of you just cringe. So I would like to call it a roadmap for success. I want you to start documenting it, review it, update it, and most importantly, implement it. Track to it, because you can measure where you are, what's going on. I always like to say, if you're going from the east coast of Florida to California, you need to go west, then north, then west again in order to get there. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck at the water on the other side of the state of Florida. You need a map. You need a map, a roadmap for success. So as we move on, let's talk about that health check. Where are the opportunities that are going to help you and your business stand out? Because let's face it, we know that everybody wants to start a small business, right? Everyone's trying to start a small business. They're working on it diligently. So what's going to make you stand out? What's going to make your business stand out? Well, first of all, credibility becomes key. And I'm not going to go through the details of all of this, but when we talk about a health check, I want you to have a healthy business. I want you to have a fighting chance. And I think the way that you have that fighting chance in today's environment is through a couple of registrations tools, and more importantly, the rising up to credibility. So the first thing is that if you're not a register, you can register your business in Sunbiz, which we've already talked about. And right now, I'm assuming that hello? I'm assuming that everyone has already registered their business in Sunbiz, but are you a vendor for the state of Florida? I don't know whether someone's trying to ask me a question or not.
Yeah, I believe they were trying to ask you whether your organization is only for women, and also the grant that you said, whether it's for members only.
Okay, so the first thing is we are the Florida Women's Business Center. We don't exclude men. So we service and help many men. And we're under the umbrella of the Center for Technology, Enterprise, and Development, known as the TED Center, which has been headquartered here in Delray Beach for more than 27 years. We service Palm Beach County and Broward County mainly. We do have a lot of people who come to us from Miami-Dade. And when somebody said grant, I did not say grant. Hopefully I did not say grant. Kiva is a loan product, not a grant product. So hopefully that answers your question regarding that product. And it's open to everyone who is a small business owner. So it's really a product. And as I said, the Florida Women's Business Center is the only hub that's located in Florida right now, accepting applications for that product. What we do is help you develop a business plan, and then help you to complete or guide you toward completing an application to receive the grant. I'm sorry, the loan. So again, Kiva is a loan product.
A loan, it is a loan.
It's a loan. You have to
With
pay
no
it back.
interest. With
But there's no interest. It's 0% interest over a 3-year period of time. So whatever amount of money that you're looking for, you divide it over the 3 years, and that's how much your monthly payment would be. So,
Right, and I believe the question that followed after that is, I guess how they get in contact with you through your booth, and you're going to provide that information too.
yes, absolutely. Okay. So we talked about what makes what can make your business stand out and how you can move that forward. Do I recommend that you do all of these things, every red bulleted item on this page? Absolutely. So you want to register as a vendor with the state of Florida, not the same as registering your business in SunBiz. You want to apply to become certified with the state of Florida as a small business, but also as a woman-owned, minority-owned, veteran-owned business as well. You want to register as a vendor and become certified with Broward County, which you'll hear about that process. Register as a vendor with the city that your business is registered in. Many cities here in Florida, they go to their small businesses first or give them extra points in terms of getting opportunities to do business with the city. And then there's registration as a vendor with the federal government, which is in sam.gov. You can register as a vendor. And the last thing you want to do is complete your capability statement. It's a review of your business at a glance. So it's one page. It talks about all of the things that you do, the businesses that you've worked with. It's more like a one-page business resume for your business. Now, everything that I've mentioned on here, starting with vendor with the state of Florida, becoming certified with the state of Florida, I'm not sure about Broward County, becoming vendors with the city, becoming a vendor with the federal government, and completing your capability statement, all of those things are free. So when we talk about that health check for your business, there's really no reason that you can't do all of these things, because if your business is certified and registered and you're able to communicate that to potential customers versus another business that does not have all of those registrations or certifications, then hopefully you're going to be recognized or talked to first in terms of getting opportunities. So when you look at that health check and things you want to do, free is always good, particularly when you can document it and utilize it to your advantage. And this is the way that you can make your business stand out. The last thing that I actually would like to talk about today, because I think it's so important, and that is in terms of knowing your numbers. One of the most disappointing things that has happened over the last year is that so many small businesses have been left out of opportunities because they did not know their numbers. They were unable to provide information about their business. So one of the areas that our center in particular is going to be focused on, certainly through the end of the year, and I'm sure into next year, is helping small businesses to know their numbers, to document those numbers, to track those numbers, to look at the marketplace and see how they fit into the economic climate that exists, so that they can run successful businesses and make money. So when you look here, there's some basics that you can start off with. And if we're saying that we want to get to the basics and move forward, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, how much money do you have in your business account? If you don't know, you want to document that. You want to find out if you have multiple accounts, add them together and decide and know where you are. Review and understand your expenses. Don't be afraid to document your expenses. I know sometimes, we all want to put our hands over our eyes like this, like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I owe that much money. Well, if you know how much money you owe, how much money you're spending, you can work on it and come up with a plan and at least be able to talk to someone about how to move forward with that. How do you make more money in your business so that you can cover your expenses and make sure you take care of them? So I think that is so important in terms of the health check, is to know where you're spending that money. Is it necessary? And how can you plan and forecast in a realistic sense? And that takes me to the next point of documenting your goals and determine realistic forecasts. So everyone here is looking for help, support, information, knowledge, and resources. We know that because if you weren't, you would not have registered, you would not attend, and you would not hear me talking actually at this point. So we know that you are certainly interested in moving forward. And in doing that, you have to document your goals. How many products and services do you want to sell? At what price? Can you sell them today what you were selling them for a year ago? Maybe not. Maybe you have to look at other products to substitute. Maybe you have to eliminate altogether. But the point of the matter is you need to get to the point where on a daily, weekly, monthly situation, you have documented what your goals are and put a plan together that says, I'm going to market to those goals. I'm going to look for opportunities to support those goals and determine realistic forecasts. Now, we all have dreams. We all look at pie in the sky. That's good because that's what drives us. But right now, reality is where we are. Reality is where we have to live. And we need to move forward in a way that says, I have documented my goals and I am going to track to them because that's how I'm going to grow my business. Now, I know that some of you are challenged in terms of keeping books and records. You either don't know how, or you say, oh, I'm an artist, so I paint, but I don't add up the numbers. I want somebody else to do that. Over the last year, I think what we've all been taught is that we need to know what's going on. And so you may have a bookkeeper or an accountant. They take care of the numbers. The question is, even if they're taking care of the numbers, do you have an idea if those numbers are correct or how you are going to manage those numbers in your business? Because this is about you and your business. You have to understand an income statement, a balance sheet, cash flow, the ins and the outs of your business, how you're spending them, how are you spending money, what those statements look like, so that you can have conversations and meetings to analyze where you are, where you're going, how you're going to get there. And if for some reason you're not getting there in the manner that you thought you were or should, that's the time to take a step back and breathe and determine if that original roadmap still makes sense. To that end, I want to say that all of these things are possible. All of these things are within your reach. And there are plenty of organizations and programs and groups that are available to support you in moving your business forward. I always say that healthy mind, healthy body equals a healthy business. It's so important for you to check your pulse, know that your heart is beating, not rapidly because you're afraid of what you may see, but your heart is beating rapidly because you're excited and you know what to expect. And you know that you're doing your homework and you know that you're operating that business and that your health check is good, that you've performed it and you can move forward. So all of the things that I've talked about in terms of that health check boil down to information and resources. And there's a whole host of resources that are available over the next couple of weeks through the city of Miramar and their program. The Florida Women's Business Center is one of those resources. And we provide one-on-one counseling. All of our counseling services are free. We have a whole slew of workshops. On Monday, we do Magic Mondays, an opportunity for you to learn what's going on in Palm Beach and Broward County and with the federal government through the week. We do Divas in the trucking industry on Tuesdays, and on Wednesdays, we do Wednesday morning chat. And we do that every week. In addition to that, we have special workshops, such as the one that's coming up with Google on June 18th. You'll find those on our website. I talked about funding via Kiva. Again, we're the only Kiva hub here in Florida at the present time. And those loans are up to, those loans are up to $15,000 at 0% interest over 3 years. We help you with connections and opportunities. We do distribute a list of potential grants and opportunities on a weekly basis. We help you with networking. We had a great networking event 2 months ago via Zoom, and it was our comedy. We had 2 women who are comedians, and we had comedy hour, which was wonderful, but also an opportunity to go into breakout sessions to network. We can help you with your business plan. We can provide guidance in terms of your business, brainstorming, and collaboration with all of the partners who are here to present with you today. And we are here to support your success. So call us, contact us. My contact information is here. Again, my name is Victoria Hughes. I'm the director of the Florida Women's Business Center. This is our address in Delray Beach, Florida, but we also have a location, an active location in Broward County in Fort Lauderdale. We are currently not seeing individuals face to face in terms of in our office, but we do Zoom meetings, we do conference calls, and obviously phone calls as well. So I want to thank all of you. If there are more questions in the chat, I would be happy to answer.
Yes. Thank you, Victoria. We do have some questions for you. Is the Florida Women's Business Center only for women, or do you assist men as well?
We assist men. We have a fair number of men who come, who attend our workshops. We do one-on-one counseling. So we don't exclude men. We invite men to come to all of our events. We know that men have a lot of information to share. And so what we like to say is that men and women think differently. But we'd like to come to the center because we want to understand both sides of the equation, and we invite men to do that as well.
Excellent. I know you had a question earlier. I think you may have answered, I'm not sure. The question was, does the business have to be a Florida-based business to receive the loan?
No, Kiva, just to let you know that Kiva is a global organization. So they have multiple locations here in the United States, but they also have locations around the world. For our Kiva hub covers South Florida, basically, mainly Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade County. Those are the 3 counties that we cover. But Kiva does have other locations if someone is outside of Florida and they want to call and talk to me, I noticed that I left my phone number off of there. So I will give them my phone number if they're interested. They can call me and I can put them in touch with the appropriate person.
Okay. I'll put your phone number information in the chat. Thank you so much, Victoria, for joining us. And thank you to our attendees and our sponsors. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you want to stick around, we have our main event coming up at 6 to 8. We're going to have keynote speakers from the SBA, which is the U.S. Small Business Administration, and also from Broward County's Office of Economic Small Business Development. Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Calling all businesses and those thinking of starting a business. Don't miss the City of Miramar's virtual Bizfit monthly series designed to help businesses reach more customers and grow profitability. In partnership with the Miramar Pembroke Pines Chamber of Commerce, Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development, Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, and FSBDC at FAU, the Bizfit workshops will help businesses to not only survive during the pandemic, but to thrive in this competitive market economy. Series 1 kicks off on Tuesday, June 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. and will focus on small business health checks, COVID-19 relief resources, business inclusion diversity goals, doing business with the city and county, benefits of the chamber membership, cutting your overhead costs, and maximizing your cash flow. Series 2 is scheduled for Tuesday, July 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. and will help your business online presence, provide tips on how to stay connected to existing customers and reach new customers. It'll explore the hottest marketing trends and tools, build virtual relationships, and get more customers to find you via website, social media, and mobile devices. The final event is Series 3, which is set for Tuesday, August 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. This virtual event will provide a step-by-step checklist on how to successfully reopen your business post-COVID and how to modify your 2021 business model to continue to serve your customers both virtually and via physical storefront location. The City of Miramar's Economic and Business Development team truly value the businesses in our city, and we are here to give you access to the various services and programs that can help your business grow and thrive. Register today to help grow your business.